Hey guys, today I'll be sharing with you how I edit my photos. Now I'd like to preface this video by saying that when I do shoot pictures, I build it from the ground up. I try to imagine the end result before I actually start shooting. Now let's jump into Lightroom and let's start. Alright, so this is a picture of my friend. I intended this photo to be a black and white photo. So first of all, I am going to crop the image. So that I just feel that his shoulder is a bit too... it's not evenly spaced. So I want to make sure this is spaced as evenly as I can. So first thing I do is I adjust the exposure. So maybe bring it up to 0.50, around that. All right. So the next thing is I want to increase my contrast. So around 7. Let me stop the video right here. When I add contrast, I like to think of it as somewhat like cooking. So when you have a recipe and it has like soy sauce and salt and whatever, I treat contrast as a little bit here, a little bit there. So to get the saltiness of the food per se, you would have a little bit of salt and a little bit of soy sauce to get the flavor you want and the saltiness level you want. So applying it to my photo, I do adjust the contrast through the contrast slider, but that's not the main place. I add contrast through playing with the whites, playing with the black sliders. I also adjust the curve levels. So that's how I add contrast. So let's get back to the video. So I'm keeping contrast at around maybe 7, and the highlights I'm bringing them up to 13. The shadows I'm bringing up to 11, and the whites bringing up to around -5, sorry, and the blacks -6. Next thing is with clarity, I don't want to add too much clarity, but this would be a gritty image. So around +9 clarity. And the dehaze, this is another way that I can add contrast, but not too much because you could easily overdo it. So around +11. Now this is the HSL panel where I do a lot of my contrast adjustment. So I'm just lifting the blacks as you see here, then just adjusting the shadow area just a little bit down to balance out the contrast. And the midtones, I bring a little bit up too, just so that everything looks a bit more balanced. Now I like where that's at. So I'll do a little bit of sharpening here, but not too much because I do final sharpening in Photoshop. Next thing would be the vignette, just a little bit of a vignette because I'll be doing a few more things through masks. So first here, I'm grabbing the radial mask so that I could create a bit more focus to my subject. Now, first I have to invert this mask and then reduce the exposure by, let's say around around there, -46. All right. So the next thing I'll do is add a linear gradient at the bottom because my initial vision of this was the bottom area of the photo would be a little bit darker just to give more focus to the face of the subject. And finally, for this Lightroom edit, I'll add a linear gradient above and up the exposure by like 0.15 just so that gives a bit more focus to the subject. Alright, so that's it. Now I'm gonna bring this photo into Photoshop and just do just a few more tweaks to it, just to make it a bit more poppy. A little bit of dodging and burning, a little bit of sharpening, and this is the end result. Okay, thank you for watching. Hope you've learned something. Or if not, I hope you just enjoyed the video. Thanks.